Hi Curlies. I feel like I'm always posting about my flaxseed gel, so I wanted to do a real-time video. I know there are so many videos you can find on YouTube, but just to show you how easy it is and quick. So I have my 2 cups of water and half cup of whole flax seeds, and I put medium heat. Just stir it in so it all gets wet. Okay. I usually use a 1/4 cup, but I feel like I want to get more hold with my gel, so I'm going to up it from a 1/4 to a half cup and see how that works out. So while that's getting started, I like to put it on medium heat because especially with electric burners, they get hot so quick and they stay hot. I don't want it to froth over, so medium keeps it at a nice manageable temperature. So that's getting started. Let me just show you what I use and what I need. So a regular pot, I like to use a spatula, and then to test the consistency of it, I just use a fork, and I'll show you that a little later. So the flax seeds I use, I got this from Aldi. It was something like $2.50 for the bag. And these are golden roasted, they're whole, just so you can see them. You can't really see. But I bought these back in probably October, and you can see how much I have left. So this is really a cost-effective gel. It's effective in my hair, but also cost-effective. People have asked about protein sensitivities and flaxseed. I'm not a science person, but I'm just going to stir this while I talk. I'm not a science person, but I've done some reading on the flaxseed gel. You can see it's already starting to thicken a little bit, stick together. But I have read that the flax seeds have protein on the inside of the seed. So as long as you are only using the whole flax seeds to make your gel and not, it does come in a ground version, which is much more difficult, I've heard, to strain. So I wouldn't advise it for that reason. But if you're have a protein sensitivity, don't use the ground flax seeds because those have the protein in it. When you use whole flax seeds, the seed, the shell of the seed isn't broken, so you won't get the protein bleed through. Okay, so I'm just constantly stirring it, just making sure they're not clumping together too much. So the other things I use, I have this giant strainer that I got from Dollar Tree, just $1, giant strainer, and just a bowl that I use to strain it in. What I actually keep my gel in, I don't keep it in a squeeze bottle. I keep them in these little ball jars that I got from Michael's. I have 2 of them and I rotate them. So I just finished one batch actually today. And that's going to be put in the dishwasher. So now I have a backup. And then these are the different additions that I've put in the past and things that I want to kind of use in the future. But honey I've used. I'm going to go back and stir this again. The honey I've been reading about is a humectant. Again, I don't science, but from what I've read, that means that it works best with humidity. So I live in New York in the US, and it is January and it's not humid. So I used this back in the fall and I liked it. But I think I'm going to save this for the summer when it gets particularly humid in New York. So that I'm not going to use today. Another thing that I've used my past 2 batches is this aloe vera gel that I got from Amazon. It wasn't too expensive. I think it was only like $6 or $8. It's a good size, 12 ounces. And I liked it. I thought it moisturized really well, but I noticed as the gel ages that I'm getting some flaking. And I've read that some people have issues with the aloe vera gel and flaking. So I think this time around, I'm just gonna go back and stir. This time around, I'm gonna leave out the aloe vera gel just to see if that's the trigger of the flaking. A lot of the curly girl method I've come to learn, is a lot of trial and error. So you're adding things or taking away. You're trying to find out what's the best fit for you. So I like the aloe vera, but this time around, I'm going to leave it out, just to see if that makes any difference. And I could always add it back in the next one. What I've really, really liked is the lube. This is just a store brand. I took the label off, and I was telling my husband, oh, it's just glycerin-based gel. That's what I was calling it. And he found it. He was like, what is this weird consistency? So I told him, and of course he thinks I'm a total whack job. But I said, doesn't my hair look nice, honey? So I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you got in there. So this is just store brand lube, the gel lube. It's really, I really love this addition. So thank you to whoever figured that out. I don't want to know why or how, but I appreciate your work. Tea tree oil. I suffer from dry scalp. I have eczema in general, but specifically in the winter, I have really terrible dry scalp. And I did some reading that tea tree oil helps kind of moisturize your scalp and prevent that itching and dry skin. So I've been adding that in, and I really like it. I wanted to start adding tea tree conditioner to my routine, but I've yet to pick that up. But I'm really liking this addition to the flaxseed gel. So it's still heating up. This is taking longer than I expected. It's okay. We're like 7 minutes in or so. It's starting to heat up now. You can see it's getting a little thicker than watery now. But we're not ready yet. I have to hear my dog snoring in the background. Then I've had this for a little while. I need a dropper, so I'm not going to use it today. But I've heard this avocado oil is moisturizing, so that's something that I'd really like to use in the future. I'm not going to use it today because I'm going to end up dumping in half the bottle accidentally, so I'll wait till I get a dropper for this guy. But that's one that I want to try in the future. And then my parents went on vacation to Hawaii, and they went to a lavender farm. So they brought back a little sampler for me of this. So I've been using this just for the scent. I also was reading that the addition of essential oils in the flaxseed gel acts as a preservative. So in addition to being kept in the fridge and kept at a cool temperature, the essential oils also extend the life of it. So, it's good for scent, but also if it's a preservative, that's always a good thing. You want it to last as long as possible. And I found that my flaxseed gels, I use, I get 3 to 4 weeks out of it. Sometimes toward the end, I really, I could ditch it. And I do notice a loss of efficacy by the end of, coming toward the end of its shelf life. But, I'm a cheapskate, so I try to get as much use out of it as I can. It's always refreshing when you can finish the whole jar, So you can see it's thickening up. Some things that I've read is that when the seeds, you can see they're not quite floating on top, and they're not quite sinking on the bottom. They're a little suspended. So that's a good indication that we're getting there. Also, the longer that you boil this, the thicker it's going to be. So every time that I make a batch, I get a little braver with letting it boil, because you'll see when it starts to really get going, you know, you get nervous that it's going to stick or it's going to boil over, or, but I've been getting brave about it. So you can see it's starting to stick to the sides a bit. All right, I might pause this because who wants to watch this, me stirring a pot? Okay, all right, I'm gonna pause this and then I'll bring it back when it's a little more ready. Okay, be back. Okay, you can see it really starting to boil now. And when I run the spatula along the bottom, I'm getting more resistance. So you can see the difference in my first batch at this point, I was scrambling to take it off. Because it's like, it's gotta be done now. But I'm letting it go longer and longer with each batch. So you can see it's really just getting there. All right, I'm gonna pause again. We'll be back. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get that foamy on top. It's really bubbling up. They also suggest that you do this in a deeper pot, just in case it does foam up a little bit. I mean, I've never had, you know, it too bad, but just in case. You don't want flaxseed gel over your stove. That would not be good. So, see how it's getting there. I gotta stop touching it. Oops, see how it's getting, see off the spatula? So at this point, I usually like to take the fork it's not quite there. It's sticking, but it's not quite. Like it'd be a little more thick when it's dripping off. Again, this is like comfort and personal preference, and you know, I'm looking for a thicker hold, so you know, the longer it boils, the thicker it is, and the crispier cast you get, I guess you could say. Crispy isn't a good word because that's not tight of a cast. I don't know. What would the adjective be? I would never let myself get this far the first few batches that I did. I just don't want it to stick to the bottom, so. See, it's getting there. That's pretty good. see, dripping off, trying to drip off. So you don't want it too thick because then it's really hard to strain. And that's just a nightmare. So some people like to strain through a stocking, like pantyhose. But it seems like so messy and a pain in the behind. So unless you're using ground seeds, I would use a strainer. You definitely need the pantyhose if you use ground because the pieces are too small for the strainer. All right, I think I'm gonna pull it. Okay. So I'm gonna put this like that. Just pour it in the strainer. I probably could have let it go a little longer. Oh well. It's hard when you're not really following any particular recipe. You're just kind of going by the visual. So as you can see, it's very thick. See how much liquid is left in there. So I like to play around with it, stir it around. You can see how much is, look how thick that is. Some people save their flax seeds and they make multiple batches from them. I've tried that, freezing this residual, but then you have to like defrost it, and I don't know, I wasn't crazy about it. And since I get 3 to 4 weeks out of it, I know it's probably, I don't know. I don't know if I'm lazy. I don't know what it is, but I like using the fresh every time. Okay, I think we got enough out of there. Whoops. I'm gonna be careful not to get seeds. See, I got seeds stuck on there. You don't want seeds in your gel. That has happened, but okay. Scraping that off. Okay. Right, now the fun part. So again, this is also, you can find different recipes online, but you can't go wrong. Anything you put in it, you're not doing anything wrong here. So I think the lube, we'll do 2 tablespoons of that, because why not? I like it. I think last time I did 1. I can't remember now. I should have written it down. Oh well. And then the tea tree oil, I do like 2 to 3 drops. That's good. And the lavender, I'll just do a bunch because it smells really good. It really clears out your sinuses. So let me get a new fork. You can use a whisk, you can use a spoon. It smells so good. Just mix that up. It's a thick one. It also does thicken after it while it cools. So, ooh, got a seed in there. No, you don't. Yeah, it's a thick one. Good. It fits like just perfectly. Okay. All right, so close this up. Let it cool. As soon as it's cooled, it's ready to use. So there you go. That's my that's Regina's flaxseed gel. I have a couple of seeds in there. That's okay. I'll pull them out. Okay. Thanks for watching. If anybody made it through. Yeah. So I love this gel. The Eco Gel and the LA Looks made major flakes in my hair, completely unusable. And this is really this, and actually Diva Gel also flaked up, but this has never, other than occasionally toward the end of its shelf life, I've noticed some flaking. But I think it's not terrible. It's just a little bit that I've noticed. But yeah, so flaxseed gel. Thanks, curlies. Bye.